Hi, hello and welcome back to Bioenergetics. My name's Devraj, and today I want to look at the kind of strategies that you can use if you've been doing bioenergetics for a while and you've kind of got into the practice, but you want to take it a bit deeper. You want to create more intensity, more release, and clear more blocks from the system, but using the same exercises, because there are strategies you can invoke to do that. So if we say, for example, maybe that you've been doing bioenergetics for like 6 months and you've been working a lot with the bow and arch, which is a really great foundation posture and which can create a huge amount of release over time. But you've built it up to say, you're doing a 2-minute ding and 3 reps and you're staying really present in the body and you're breathing through the mouth throughout that, and you want to take it deeper. The two basic things that you can do, of course, is increase the length of time in the ding track, so you're spending longer in each posture, or you can increase the number of reps. Maybe you're doing 3 reps, you can increase it to 4 reps. But there are other things we can do to increase the release, and that's what I'm going to discuss in this video. But what I need to explain first is that there's no point in jumping onto this or to increasing the ding track or the reps unless you really feel like, hey, I'm fully present in the body throughout this workout. Because if, say, I'm doing my bow and I'm in the morning, I'm doing my bow, but I'm actually, I'm breathing a bit through the mouth and I've got a little bit of awareness on my body, but mostly I'm just kind of thinking about what I'm going to be doing that day and I'm not giving myself very much, Basically, the exercise will work to a degree, but the more that I can really feel my body and stay present and come out of this thinking world, then, I'm going to get much more of a release from it and it's going to go much deeper. So before you start doing stuff to up things, make sure that you really feel like, hey, I'm present in the body. And if, it can easily be that like a 2 minutes on bow and arch is too much. Maybe you need to start with 45 seconds, 1 minute, but stay really present. Like that, you will get a much better result than if you kind of, I see guys, because I get a lot of people messaging me, and wanting to do sessions and stuff, and they're like, can I take my bow and arch to 10-minute ding? And I'm saying, well, let's just check out how you're doing as it is. And what I see is like, they're doing their 10-minute ding, but for 8 minutes of it, they're holding on for dear life. Their throat is contracted and they're just, just waiting. I'm going to hold on for 10 minutes until the ding comes, and we all do this kind of stuff. Okay. We all do this kind of stuff, but with bioenergetics, that's not really going to give you very much. You'd be better off just doing the 2 minutes, but really breathing and feeling your body. So before you do any of these measures, whether it's increasing the ding track, whether it's doing more reps, or these 3 measures I'm going to talk about, then you need to make sure, hey, I'm really present in my body, because otherwise you're just proceeding along a path where you haven't really started properly grounded. Okay, so let's say you've got this stuff, I'm doing my bow and arch, I'm really present in my body, I want to increase the intensity and the release without increasing the ding track or increasing the number of reps. The first thing you can do is to increase the breath, because increasing the breathing through the mouth down into the belly, basically this belly breathing, will increase the level of charge in your body. You'll know it's increasing because you'll get a tingling sensation throughout the body, or it may be localized a little bit more in the hands or feet or stuff like that. But this basic tingling will come. And this is a Reikian technique from Wilhelm Reich, really the grandfather of bioenergetics in the West, back about 100 years ago, was working with this technique with clients. He wasn't doing bow and arch, he would have them lying down with their knees up, but he was getting them to increase the charge of energy in their body through deep belly breathing. And it's quite a process, to learn to belly breathe. It is difficult, but you can always practice and keep going for it. So if you're going to try and invoke this strategy, the best way to do that is to actually add an extra section to your workout where you just stand and breathe deep. So say I'm starting with my 2-minute bow and arch, but I want to increase the intensity. I'm going to add a standing stage where I'm just standing in a nice grounded stance with my feet at least shoulder width apart and my knees a bit bent, my ass down. And I'm just going to start to breathe deep through the mouth, as deep as I can, and try to stay really present in my body while I do it. And then when the 2-minute ding goes, then I come up into my bow and keep that deep breathing going. And then I fall forwards or move forwards down into my arch and I keep that deep breathing going again, and I go through my 3 reps like that. But the more breath that you can get in your body, the more deep this process will go. What is tricky with it is that as we start to breathe more deeply and down into the belly, a lot of layers of feeling start to be activated and charge starts to be activated, and we tend to shoot straight up into our mind. You know, it's the kind of dreamer, schizoid, leaving pattern character type, basically. As soon as there's a bit of triggering, they call it neuroreception, where the mind has a defensive response that comes in before we're consciously aware of it. So before we're consciously aware that we're feeling more, we've kind of got out of there. One thing you can do to stop this is to actually spend longer, make it a completely separate thing that you're going to do 10 minutes before you start your bow and arch, just breathing deep. Because what will happen if you manage to maintain that for like 5-10 minutes is your mind will get tuned, or rather entrained, to this deep breathing sequence. Deep breathing in and out, and I should have mentioned no gap between the in and out breath. Deep belly breathing in and out, no gap. And if you do that for 10 minutes, you'll find your mind has become entrained. There's a tingling in your body, and assuming it's not tingling so much you feel like you're going to fall over, then you can go into your bow and arch, keeping the deep breathing going much more easily because your mind has become entrained to it. And you will find it will release a lot more. And maybe even later on in the day, you'll feel like, wow, I'm really in a much more internal state where I'm not being triggered by stuff around me and I'm much clearer about what I want. So that's a very powerful technique that you can use to increase the release. The second thing that you can do is to keep your eyes open, because a lot of people doing bow and arch when they start, or other postures, tend to have their eyes closed. It gives you sometimes a more relaxed feeling and a feeling of being, sometimes it's easier to feel the body like that. But nevertheless, it is the case that if you have your eyes open and quite wide open, more energy seems to come in. It's more intense. So with the bow, instead of kind of alternating between eyes closed or open, or having my eyes closed half the time, now on my 2-minute ding, I'm going to keep my eyes wide open. They don't have to be at full stretch, for you can do that as a separate exercise, but wide open. And again, feeling my body, really feeling my body, and keeping that breathing going nice and deep through the mouth. And if you want to add to that a little bit more, the third technique is to focus on a point. Focus on a point. So now I could be doing the deep breathing if I want to. I've got my eyes open and I'm focused on a point. This focusing on a point seems to create a meditative effect within the body and actually channels energy up your body. You start to notice it after a while you've been practicing with it. And of course, when you go into the arch posture, as long as you're wearing like trousers or shorts, not a dress basically, then you can focus on a point behind you, keep your eyes open and continue going like that. Generally, it will be much more intense when you start to do this, because most people are used to semi-spacing out and having their eyes closed and feeling more relaxed. And so you're consciously invoking more intensity with these adaptations, opening the eyes, deep breathing, focusing on a point, but they will create more release over time. Okay, cool. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope your bioenergetic practice is going well and that this is a useful video. Feel free to check out bioenergetics.org.uk, my website, where I've got you can buy my book, you can sign up for the 52-week journey and stuff like that. Cool. Speak to you guys later.